Hello, students. Let's take a look today at Chapter 17.5, 17, Section 5, The War Ends. The War Ends. Vocabulary term in this section we look at, in addition to the battles that we're going to talk about, the phrase or the term total war. Total war is a war in which troops destroy food and equipment, all food and equipment that could be useful to an enemy. This is going to be a tactic that's going to be used in the South in the final years of the war, a Union tactic in the South, war in which troops destroy food and equipment useful to an enemy. Let's get right into our reading today. In July of 1863, the North won two key battles. We're going to look at video clips on both of these battles. Union forces took the town of Vicksburg on the Mississippi River, and the Union soon controlled the entire river. Another major Northern victory was the Battle of Gettysburg in Pennsylvania. This will be where the farthest north that a Civil War battle will be fought in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. That's called the high ground of the Confederacy. That is the farthest north that the Confederates and the Union will engage in battle at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Pickett's charge was the Confederates' last attempt to invade the North, and this would occur at the Battle of Gettysburg. If the Confederates had defeated the Union Army in Pennsylvania, they could have marched on Washington, D.C. However, the Confederates would never invade the North again after this loss in July of 1863 at Gettysburg. At a ceremony after the battle, that would take place in November, a few months after the battle, President Lincoln gave the Gettysburg Address. We will see a video clip on the Gettysburg Address as well. In the Gettysburg Address, in his speech, Lincoln reminded people that the United States was founded on the belief that all men are created equal. The Union was fighting, Lincoln said, so that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth. And Lincoln's short but famous speech has been honored as an important statement of American ideals. And we will hear a dramatic reading of President Lincoln's Gettysburg Address in class as well. Continuing on, the North finally defeated the South through the strategy of total war. General Ulysses S. Grant, the commander of the Union forces in 1864, wanted to destroy the South's ability to fight. And he will do this by sending General William Tecumseh Sherman to attack Atlanta and march from there to the sea. Union troops on the way burned farms, houses, and cities along the way. And in 1865, General Lee surrendered the main Southern Army at a place called Appomattox Courthouse. After 4 long and terrible years, the Civil War would end in the spring of 1865, April 9th, 1865. We'll take a look at the war in the chart on the bottom of the page, and we'll look at the recap of the events in a moment. Now, ironically, Lincoln nearly lost re-election in 1864. He was up for re-election, and the war at that point during the election year was not going terribly well. He almost lost re-election because of the war. Sherman's success and his total war approach in the South on his way to the sea from Atlanta helped Lincoln win the presidency in 1864. And Lincoln knew that the next 4 years would be difficult. He hoped to rebuild the Union. The war had taken a terrible toll on the nation, yet it was an important turning point. The national government became more powerful than state governments is one of the byproducts of the ending of the Civil War. That's the national government became more powerful than state governments, and slavery ended. And millions of African Americans became free American citizens. We talked about the Civil War amendments, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments earlier in the year. Slavery will end, and millions of African Americans will become free citizens. In the end, the war would unify the nation. Let's look at the chart on the other side of the page right now. We're looking at the causes and the effects. We're looking back at the causes and the effects of the Civil War. Two main causes of the Civil War, and there were more than two, but we're looking here at two of the main causes. If you remember back to the beginning of the unit, South fears loss of power in the national government. When Lincoln is elected, they fear that Lincoln is going to immediately move to abolish slavery, so they fear loss of power in national government. And also, the issue of slavery in the Western territories continued to divide the North and South in the 1850s. This would lead to the American Civil War, which will take place from 1861 to 1865, and the effects of the Civil War on the nation and on the Confederacy. Lincoln issues the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. Total war will destroy the South and win the war for the Union, and hundreds of thousands of Americans, nearly 700,000 Americans will be killed. Billions of dollars in property damage will be suffered by both the North and the South. And the effects of war would take decades to heal. Let's take a look at our questions at the bottom of the page. Question 1 is based on the reading. What was the importance of the Battle of Gettysburg? Again, question 1, what was the importance of the Battle of Gettysburg? You can find the answer in the reading. And the chart skills question, what were the effects? What were the effects of the American Civil War? Let's talk about those two questions right now together as a class.